Good morning, Elnora and the Home Depot team. This is Elizabeth Eubanks from the Ground Up Community Garden. We are in downtown Pensacola, and we're right next to the skate park over here. This is Larua, East Larua. And I was reaching out because we had spoken about the possibility of you all coming out and teaching us a few things. We did that great commercial with y'all a couple of months ago now, almost 2 months ago. But one of the things that I could use, we got 2 chainsaws, and when we are taking down a lot of our stuff, before the people that collect the trash come, we really need help with cutting it back so that it's manageable for them. And I would love for my volunteers, and I have 3 youth coming in for a career source with Escarosa Career Source this summer, and I would love for them to have proper skills on using a chainsaw so that we can really make this way more palatable, no pun intended, yes pun intended, for the people that help us with our trash. The other thing is, one of the things that the Home Depot and DC Collective, oh look, a bird egg, did was they put in this great fence. And this great fence is amazing. However, what I really didn't think about is I needed to have a whole gate here. So even an 8-foot gate so that I can get things coming and going, or vehicles coming in and going. I do want to gravel this whole area, but the fence is really important. Now I like this fence, and I will be purchasing fence from the Home Depot. But please know, it is very important that you know I am so happy to take dinged or damaged fencing. So if you have any of that to donate, or if you want to sell dinged and damaged, I'm fine with it. This is 6 foot, but I'm really looking, I think this is probably 4 foot high, 4.5, maybe close to 5. And it's 6 foot panels, but I'm really looking for something a little bit higher and with that curved end so that it's really hard to get into. We do have liability insurance here, and I have people jumping on the containers. I'm going to show you that in a second. But we want to kind of mark off our property line, and also just really and truly, I hate to say keep people out. We want them to see the beautiful garden, but we really need to keep them out. We are going to need about 80 feet of fence, 78 to 80. I think I had measured out 78 feet, but anyway, probably a little extra. We do have some extra panels here and a lot of poles, and so we would be getting that and concrete. And again, damaged or dinged is fine. We're gonna take this fence and move it a little bit, and like I said, we'll probably have that extra panel because we need to get a gate in here, and I'm just thinking like 8 feet somehow. But we're gonna take this fence and move it out a little bit so that it contains the drain, so that I can manage that. But what's happening is people are jumping up on this fence now and then climbing to that container. And y'all, I'm telling you what, they've been jumping on these containers, knocking things down, jumping into the garden, smoking, sometimes using the bathroom. It's been an issue. So we're just gonna kind of mark our territory. So we're gonna be angling that out a little bit more so that we can get around it, and that it's not as close to that container. And then we're gonna come through to this end over here, which marks our property line. So we'll probably come to about right here, and then we're gonna bring it all the way around. And that all the way around is gonna come to about right here. And then we're either gonna get a new fence or move this fence for now, just depending on my budget and how much all this costs. We're gonna move this fence over here so that it lines up with that. And eventually, which in the next year or so, we're gonna need 400 feet of fence. So again, we're looking for damaged or dinged, and this is not gonna happen overnight. I don't have that in my budget, but it is time. The non-skaters and the people that hang out here and kind of trash it up a little bit are the ones who I feel like are jumping up on here and scaring me and coming in and leaving their pipes and whatnot. So we're just gonna kind of mark our territory, bringing this fence in, that piece of the fence in, and then eventually we're working on our compost fence. This is all part of our property right here, but what we would like to do is trim this up so that it's all nice and neat. This fence comes in, And this is all nice and neat. We've been opening up that side of it because for years, it's a long story, I don't want to bore you, but we were working the compost from this end, but now we're just going to keep working it from that end. So we'll probably put a little gate over on this end, but we definitely want to trim it up so that we can have a gate that enters here if needed, or even a double gate or one of the big gates in case a truck needs to come in. But for the most part, we would like to be able to drive this path in case musicians or artists come in and they need to get all the way through to that gate way over by the DOT pole. So this is kind of where we get extra compost, but we do have people driving through. I'm seeing now that I need to get the Home Depot pole saw out and cut back this mulberry and really the pear tree, just so it's easier for the people that are supporting us. But that's kind of the vibe. So even for now, we're happy to keep this part of the fence, but eventually I desire it all to be about 8 foot. And if it has that curve so people can't really climb it, that would be ideal. So again, this is Elizabeth, and let me just walk you through and show you how cool this is. And again, we're looking at about 80 feet of fenced. And I don't care if it matches. You can see that we have a very eclectic vibe out here. We have lots of art. There's an old Corvair in there, you can see that. But I don't care if it matches, and I don't care if it's damaged and dinged. And if I have to, I will buy the new fence. So this is where we're housing all of the cooking equipment that was part of the Home Depot commercial with Warner Brothers Discovery. I think it's called a documentary. Lots of nice furniture in here. And look at all these great plants. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. And the students are due to start in June, so I don't really have an exact date yet. But once they get going, I will be able to let you know when we're going to meet. And again, I just appreciate your help. 2 things, teaching and helping my students and volunteers learn how to install a fence, and helping us if there's any damaged or dinged, or making some recommendations for us. And then any chainsaw training that you can offer so that we can make our pieces more accessible. And really, if you wanted to do pole saw too, that would be fine. We obviously have to take down some of the mulberry. Thank you. Have a great day.